Hello, callers. Welcome to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some interesting update. We start with Ansu Fati and Ferran Torres as the Barca duo, according to a new report, need a miracle right now to continue at Barca after the summer window. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Secondly, talking about Ilkay Gundogan as a move to Barcelona looks like a real possibility now. Of course, the player is pushing for an exit from the Citizens. He wants to join Barca despite Pep Guardiola pushing him to renew his contract. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the stories in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. A recent report from The Athletic has offered an update on the future of some of the Barcelona players as the club look ahead to a busy summer transfer window. As per the report, there are several Barca stars who are facing an uncertain future at Camp Nou. Two such players are Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati. Both players have found it difficult to impress at Camp Nou this season, falling behind in the pecking order in Xavi's first team plans. Fati, for one, is in danger of being offloaded ahead of the new season. The Athletic reports that only a miracle may save him from being sold in the summer as the club look to raise money from player sales in order to reduce the salary mass in the squad. Fati should also raise a significant transfer premium, which will allow the club to make moves for their top target in the coming summer. The report points out that Ferran Torres is in an even worse position. The former Manchester City starlet has struggled with productivity since joining the club at the start of last year. His lack of consistency has reflected poorly on the team. Barca, therefore, are more than willing to cash in on Ferran Torres as they look to trim the squad ahead of the new season. Although Ferran Torres might not fetch much of a transfer premium as compared to Ansu Fati, his departure could still go a long way in helping the club balance their books. Unless a major development, both Ferran and Fati look set to leave the Camp Nou, potentially ushering in a new era in the Barca attack that might be led by their former hero Lionel Messi once again, though the Argentine has been closely linked with a move to Al Hilal. Of course, there is no arguing that this season we need to cash in on players. Player sales must take place whether we like it or not. I think La Liga has made it clear to Barca that they must sell players if they really want to have a fruitful summer window. And one such player is Fati. Fati has been the player that have disappointed many, especially having a free season. Free in the sense that injuries have not disturbed Fati like the last two seasons, and it has been a disappointing scenario for a player who have shown a lot of positive in the past, a lot of prospect, a lot of promise, and just so unfortunate that we the Barca fans couldn't enjoy the best of Fati when he's a free injury player now. Since the season began, Fati have not had any single knock that you can be like, okay, Fati have been out again, but Fati have been free to play. The chance that Xavi gives him is well enough for him to show what he's got. The other time his father was so angry, earlier this season saying that Xavi is biased and blah 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 stuff like that. Which for me was just ranting that made no sense. Fati have not done anything to warrant a consistent place in this team. We are not putting a player just because we want to satisfy the player's father. This is a team. This is not an individual place for achievement. This is a team that needs to succeed. If Ansu Fati father really love Barca, he shouldn't be saying such. Except he's not a fan of Barca and he just wants his son to have a good career. Of course, every parent wants that. And I think Fati, who has been linked with a move, might just likely be sold or worst come to the worst, be loaned out. But it's going to be difficult for him to stay for next season. Of course, despite having a good end to the season, yesterday he scored the only consolation goal against Celta Vigo, which they dealt with us 2-1. and they got saved for relegation. And of course, Ansu Fati banked a brace last week against Mallorca in what was our last home game against at the Camp Nou Spotify. I think he ended the season with some good promise, but I don't know if it is enough for Xavi and co to be like, okay, this guy is showing something. I doubt if Fati will stay. That's the honest truth. And for Ferran Torres, that is even the worst case scenario because, to be honest, if Ferran stays for this club next season, then I don't know if we're serious with the transfers. Because if Barca know for sure that player sales must take place, then we won't see either one of Ferran or Ansu or none of them, honestly, because if the two of them are still next season, then I doubt which player Barca are planning to sell. So a lot still need to be happen. A lot of activities need to be carried out. Barca have a hectic summer transfer window ahead, and I think Laporta knows better than anyone. Then on to the final story of discussion. Manchester City maestro Ilkay Gundogan added another feather in his cap the other night by beating Man United and leading Man City to another FA Cup title. He is now within touching distance to securing treble for City, of course, providing that they beat Inter in the Champions League final this coming Saturday. In the midst of his success, Barca have been so keen on the idea of bringing him to the Camp Nou. According to Mundo Deportivo, Ilkay Gundogan is here to decide his future. Even though his contract at the Etihad comes to an end, he has been left frustrated. He is now leaving his future open only after the Champions League. The player has also made no secret of his desire to keep leading the Manchester City squad. He holds Pep Guardiola in high esteem as it stands. Pep, for his part, is keen on keeping hold of Ilkay Gundogan. In a recent press conference just before after the game against United in the FA Cup final, Pep said, "We are all working on it and I hope we can succeed in renewing his contract." Man City had previously raised a one-year renewal proposal for Ilkay, but the player was not happy with the length as he wants a longer-term contract, and as it stands, Barca have offered him a 3-year contract. But it appears Man City are now contemplating increasing that length of Ilkay Gundogan, possibly offering the midfielder a one-year deal with an option to extend it to a further year. Barcelona, for their part, are putting all the resources into the pursuit of Lionel Messi, who appears dangerously close to a move to Al Hilal, with the Saudi Arabian giants even reportedly preparing a welcome show on June the 6th. FC Barca, therefore, are likely not in a position to compete with Man City in the moment. At the end of the day, the decision will be up to the player on whether or not he wants to remain at the Etihad or try out a new adventure elsewhere. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.